Right now at 10, breaking news out of Northeast Oklahoma following a shooting at a Memorial Day festival. We'll have the latest. Plus, a shooting at a St. Louis area grocery store leaves 3 people injured. And
President Biden and the First Lady comfort grieving families in Uvalde. I'm Danya Backus with more on their visit and the federal agency now reviewing the police response.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Chris Warner. We begin tonight with breaking news out of Northeast Oklahoma. 1 person is dead and 7 others injured following a shooting at a Memorial Day festival. The shooting happened in the small community of Taft just after midnight. Taft is in Muskogee County, just west of Muskogee, Oklahoma. According to the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, 1 person was killed and at least 7 others were injured. 2 of those were minors. Witnesses say they heard at least 40 shots fired. The USBI says the investigation is continuing and no arrests have been made. Staying in Northeast Oklahoma, breaking news out of Disney, where the Grand River Dam Authority police are searching for a missing boater. Officials say they're searching a large area of Grand Lake for 48-year-old Troy Young of Bixby. GRDA police say they were notified Young was missing around 8 a.m. Saturday morning and that Young was last seen around 10:30 Friday night. Officers recovered Young's boat near the entrance of Ketchum Cove, about 1.5 miles from Cedar Port. Authorities are asking any boaters in the area to be mindful of the search efforts, and anyone with information is asked to contact the GRDA police. Police say 3 people were shot outside a grocery store in North St. Louis County on Friday. Reporter Robert Townsend has that story.
In broad daylight, the parking lot at Wellston Market turned into a violent battleground. Police say just before 3 Friday afternoon, a man walked inside the store with an AR-15 style rifle in a sling and possibly under his shirt. They tell us the man did not threaten anyone, but several shoppers were alarmed after seeing the semi-automatic weapon. Moments later, when he stepped outside, police say another man armed with a gun confronted the rifle carrier and demanded his weapon. The man gave up his rifle, walked to his vehicle, and then grabbed another gun as the robber walked away. Investigators say the 2 men got into a shootout. More than a dozen bullets flew, hitting 2 women there to shop and shattering car windows in the market's parking lot. The man with the rifle took off. Incredibly, the gunfire wasn't over. Police say another man then shot the suspected robber as he lay on the ground. This is the same North County store where in June of 2019, 40-year-old North County Police Cooperative Officer Michael Langsdorf was shot and killed while investigating a bad check incident.
And again, that was Robert Townsend reporting. We saw very warm temperatures for this Sunday. Nick Kelly joining us.
Yeah, a lot of us flirted close to 90 degrees this afternoon, Chris. But if you want to talk about the official numbers, as we look still quiet from 7th and Rangeline, officially the high of 89. I did see a couple instances, though, where we did hit 90 degrees during the 2 o'clock hour Joplin Regional, but still, either whether it was a bit hot or quite warm, any of the above applied for our day after we started at 71 this morning. We are seeing quiet skies still in place as we begin the late night hours. Any big storms staying to the north and west, but it is hinting at our next cold front that will be on the way. Fortunately, it's not for our Memorial Day. We'll keep it dry for tomorrow, starting with 70 degrees in the morning, and then not as warm tomorrow, but still warm nonetheless, with highs around 85. So a bit blustery, but we're quiet and warm for our Memorial Day Monday. But then I'll be focusing on returning rain chances and a possible severe threat by Tuesday and causing a bit of a dip in temperatures to kick off June. We'll get to all of this in full weather coming up, Chris.
All right, Nick, thank you. President Biden and the First Lady arrived in Uvalde, Texas on Sunday, where they met with the families of victims and survivors of last week's mass shooting that killed 19 elementary school children and 2 teachers. The Justice Department announced plans to review the multi-agency law enforcement response, which has come under intense criticism for a long delay in going in to stop the gunman. CBS News correspondent Danya Backus has more from Uvalde.
President Biden paid his respects at a memorial for the 19 children and 2 teachers killed in last week's Texas school rampage. Dozens gathered to catch a glimpse of the president and First Lady on their visit Sunday to Uvalde. Some spoke about the shooting's deep and painful impact on everyone in this tight-knit community.
We know everybody. It's such a small community that we all know the family in some way, shape, or form.
Our state leaders have let us down. They continue to do what Texas do not want. We want gun control. We want it, and they don't.
Enough is enough.
The Justice Department announced Sunday it's getting involved with plans to review the law enforcement response to the mass shooting here at Robb Elementary.
Yes, there were things, errors made, but if you look back, if you rewind, it all started with the weapon, okay? The AK-15, the automatic assault rifle. An 18-year-old purchased that rifle.
A more than hour-long delay between the time the gunman entered the school and when U.S. Border Patrol agents unlocked the classroom door and killed him has raised anger and frustration in this city trying to cope in the aftermath. The school district's police chief prevented officers from going after the gunman during the more than hour-long rampage under the belief the immediate danger had passed.
There's no excuse for that.
In a news conference Friday, the director of the Texas Department of Public Safety said that was the wrong decision. Danya Backus, CBS News, Uvalde, Texas.
A Justice Department spokesman said the review, which was requested by Uvalde's mayor, would be conducted in a fair, impartial, and independent manner, and the findings be made available to the public. We take this time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Specialist Robert Sill served in the Army from 1953 to 55. His hometown, Joplin. And we're proud to recognize Specialist Robert Sill, tonight's four-state hero. And of course, if you'd like to learn more about our other heroes or nominate one of your own, you can do that anytime at KOAMNewsNow.com. Up next, we're heading to Stott City as the Country Roads Family Fun Farm is closing out their spring season. Here's a look at our tower camera. It's sponsored by R.E. Smith Construction. It's the very important tower cam. We show you this so much because there's a huge project going on here at KOAM, and it's going to impact you. If you'd like to learn more about that impact, you can go to our website, KOAMNewsNow.com/power. Well, motocross fans and riders have been waiting for Memorial Day weekend and the Battle of the Borders Outdoor MX Series at Four State Moto Complex in Newton County. Now, this is the inaugural season and the first MX Series event. It also happens to be their grand opening. September and October, there's going to be 2 more events. The Missouri State MX Series will be September 24th and 25th, and the Bonnie and Clyde Shootout will take place October 15th and 16th. The Mount Hope Church of Christ hosted a potluck this afternoon. At the event, they had a homemade ice cream competition with 3 entries, and the homemade cookies and cream entry won. The goal of the potluck is to increase fellowship in the community and among its members.
What I hope is the people who are maybe a little new get to feel more comfortable with everybody else, maybe get to know some of the people that, if you sit on different sides of the auditorium, get to know people you don't talk to every Sunday. And hopefully get a chance for people to feel like they can contribute, even if it's in a small way.
Of course, Mount Hope is located at 2830 Mount Hope Road in Webb City. Well, the Stott City Country Roads Family Fun Farm closing out their spring season. To wrap things up, they celebrate by getting things ready for the summer by planting sunflowers, and those are going to bloom in July. Families had a chance to go and have hay rides, create crafts, interact with animals ranging from sheep to cows.
Obviously, some of our customers become like family. I've got a crew over here that has been, I think, the last 2 years off and on, and so we learn their names. We know them by name, sometimes first and last, and when they come in, they feel like family. It feels like they've come to a family's yard.
The Family Fun Farm will reopen on July 3rd. A little later on the news at 10, there's a new #1 at the box office, and this one set some records. Well, the latest in our box office review.
But first, we're staying quiet for our Memorial Day, but thunderstorm chances not too far away from returning. Forecast next. Even though we kept things pretty quiet overall for the entire area on this very warm Sunday, it was another case where we had a quick moving cold, how about a warm front rather, pass on through and dying out as it did, along with some upper level energy. We had partly cloudy skies still in place this morning, and a couple of you did manage to wake up to a couple of these isolated showers, maybe a random storm or two. But again, it was during the early morning hours, right around sunrise, and as we got deeper in the day and as the storms tried to make it to US 69, they completely fell apart. So that was not a big deal by any stretch. But we're going to hold off on any better rain chances until we hit Tuesday. As far as where temperatures have been, we just continue on warming trend. We had lower 80s for highs yesterday, 83 at Joplin Regional to be exact. We dropped back to 71 this morning, a little warmer than I expected, and that just meant we had more reason to go back into the upper 80s to near 90 at Joplin Regional today. Everyone is pretty much in the mid 80s to close to 90 this afternoon. But as far as this evening is concerned, we've been looking quiet still from Indigo Sky just outside of Seneca, Missouri, and from our vantage point at 7th and Rangeline from the east side of Joplin. I expect us to stay quiet for tonight. Not the case, though, for our friends and neighbors up in much of Nebraska and even working up into parts of South Dakota. They've got some storms to deal with tonight. There have been a couple of storms that have been trying to get going ahead of a dry line in western Oklahoma. I don't think that comes into play, and certainly this dry line will come into play by Tuesday. But this incoming cold front at the surface will, and upstairs, so will these parades of upper level lows. One's going to lift to the north and east. That's going to take the current severe threat north of the region and keep it to the north. Then we got to deal with these two lows starting on Tuesday. Thankfully, though, again, we're keeping it dry through the overnight. You can see how the future track wants to try to paint a few isolated showers or a few isolated storms as that dry line tries to make it close to the turnpike, but I really think those stay out of the area. I expect us to stay dry to start your Monday morning out under partly sunny skies. And we'll just go bouncing back and forth between partly to mostly sunny skies throughout our Memorial Day, even though we'll have a good south breeze in place at 10 to 20 in the morning and picking up to 15 to 25 during the day, gusts near 30 at times. There's going to be a little bit cooler air aloft, and as it mixes down, it's not going to lead quite to the warm day that we had today, but still we'll go from 70 in the morning, 80 by noon, and highs topping out near 85. So we're looking good for our Memorial Day this go around. But ahead of the approaching cold front, you can see how the storms want to try to make a run right for the area by Tuesday morning. But all I think we can get from that batch is maybe a couple of showers in our far northwestern counties. I think most of us are dry in the morning, dry to start Tuesday afternoon. Then here's 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. Here's 8 o'clock. As that front pushes on through, we're going to have to deal with more scattered and more numerous showers and thunderstorms, certainly as we go into early Wednesday morning. This setup could potentially bring not only some strong storms, but even some severe weather our way. A low to elevated severe threat, really highlighting southeastern Kansas and from Nevada up to the north from 4 Tuesday afternoon until 2 a.m. Wednesday. Hail, wind, and some heavy rainfall. Certainly the biggest issues we'll be keeping an eye on. And speaking of that heavy rainfall potential, again, not much to show until Tuesday morning, but as the storms really get going, anywhere from ½ an inch on the low end to as much as 2, 3, 3.5 inches. It'll all depend on how the heavy rain chances develop and pass on through, but we don't have to worry about that for tonight or for Memorial Day. We'll keep it dry and warm with highs are 85, 84 on Tuesday, but then the upper levels stay active, bringing in waves and keeping us busy with scattered thunderstorm chances Wednesday through next weekend, Chris. But on the other hand, it means we'll start June out on Wednesday in the first weekend of June with highs in the 70s to about 80. Yeah, that's certainly, I'm not complaining about that.
No, I mean, despite the storm chances, it is a cooler start to June than what we're used to around here. So like you said, we'll take it.
Yeah, and just one more quick note, Tuesday, because that severe threat, it is an alert day. That's something we'll keep a close eye on for sure.
Absolutely, Nick. Thank you so much. Well, coming up in sports, Pitt State Track and Field return home with the National Championship Trophy. Plus, Crowder faces Central Arizona in the opening round of the JUCO World Series. Danny Terzer's got those details next. Rising COVID cases and record gas prices aren't stopping Americans who want to hit the road for the holiday. More than 39 million people are crowding roads and airports this weekend. Tom Waite is in Los Angeles with the latest.
Pent-up demand has Americans heading to beaches, crowding campgrounds, and filling up flights and freeways. But the holiday getaway is getting more expensive.
We probably would have come earlier and stayed longer. but the prices have just gone crazy.
In the U.S., nearly 35 million travelers are expected to drive, even though gas prices jumped by more than 50% from last year. Nationwide, the average is $4.60 a gallon. In California, it's $6.10.
We're shortening our trip because of gas.
Airfares this year are up 6%, with passengers facing packed airports and fewer.
We're going to be right back after this.
The Pitt State men sent 15 athletes to compete in this weekend's NCAA Division II Outdoor Track and Field Championships. The Gorillas return as national champions. The Pitt State squad received a warm welcome this evening after capturing the program's second national title and first in outdoor. Lewis Rollins and Braylon Brewer led the way for the Gorillas, winning individual titles in their events. The Gorilla men also tallied more than 20 All-American performances. This caps off a tremendous season for Pitt State.
You couldn't script it up any better than this. I mean, we did the Triple Crown, MIAA, cross country, indoor, outdoor, and to cap it off with an outdoor national championship. It's just, I'm lost for words for what we've accomplished in this group that we have and amazing young men. And for me to be able to lead these young men to achieve such an accomplishment is a blessing.
They were gorillas this weekend, meaning they got the ball rolling, they got the fire started in Lewis Rollins, and what they got going in the 4x1, just outstanding. And once you get that train going, these guys know how to finish, and that's exactly what they did this weekend.
The Crowder Rough Riders are in action today in the opening round of the JUCO World Series in Grand Junction. The Rough Riders have earned the 5 seed in the tournament. Crowder faces Central Arizona after a long mid-game rain delay. Central Arizona ties it in the top of the 9th. Then in extras, Adamo Storneo smashes a walk-off home run. Rough Riders win 5-4. Crowder will play again on Tuesday. The Columbus Titans finished the 2022 season as the Class 3A state runner-up, the best finish in program history. The Titans played for the state championship on Friday, falling to Wichita Collegiate 10-3. They end the season with a 22-3 overall record. The Titans lose 2 seniors.
You know, Jackson and Jake, they missed that one COVID year, but they've worked hard. Jackson, he's done a great job in the infield and, hitting, being leadoff spot. Jake, he comes in, he's been a good reliever, coming in and throw some games. He had like 4 wins this year. I'm going to miss them both, we all will. And, you hate to see those seniors have to go, but, that's the way it is.
The Frontenac Raiders won the Class 3A state tournament this weekend. It's their 3rd state title since 2016. Their most recent was in 2019. This year, Frontenac took down Santa Fe Trail and Prairie View on Friday to claim the title. Pitcher Avery Johnson played a big role in the team's success.
AJ, she's a rock star. We've worked a lot here this season, just understanding what her role is and helping her learn to trust her defense because it is so good behind her. And, we're lucky to have her. We're happy to have her. And, I think everybody here is proud of her, and I hope she's proud of herself because she's made great gains this season, not just with strikeouts and things like that, but the mental part of the game, too.
This weekend also marked the start of the state tournament for Missouri girls soccer. Carl Junction hosted Glendale in the quarterfinal round. The Bulldogs fell 4-0, finishing with a 21-6 record. They graduate 7 seniors, including 4 that played on varsity all 4 years.
Those 4 have been playing since they've been little kids together and travel around playing club teams and going to Springfield and playing together, so it's a really good nucleus for us. They came in as freshmen, and at that situation would allow them to come in and start as freshmen. We've got some people with a lot of playing time this year, varsity experience this year, and I think they're going to slide right in and, pick up where they left off, we hope.
That's a look at sports. We're back after this.
The latest Tom Cruise movie opened in more than 4,700 North American theaters, the widest release ever. And that's not the only box office record it set. David Daniel has the early estimates for the Friday through Sunday box office.
Just feels So good.
The Bad Guys stayed in the top 5, making off with $4.6 million. Downton Abbey: A New Era fell to 4th on ticket sales of $5.9 million.
I'm making an instrument out of spoons and a napkin holder and dreams and magic.
The Bob's Burgers movie began its run by cooking up $15 million for a third-place debut. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness fell to 2nd with $16.4 million for a domestic total of $375 million, the most of any film released in 2022 so far.
Your instructor is one of the finest pilots this program has ever produced.
Tom Cruise and Top Gun: Maverick had all the right moves. The long-awaited sequel zoomed off with $124 million in its first 3 days. Record debuts for Cruise and for Memorial Day weekend. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Now, through Monday, it's estimated Top Gun: Maverick will reel in $151 million. That's another Memorial Day weekend record. So, I mean, we thought we saw records with Spider-Man, and then Doctor Strange is setting records, and now we've got Top Gun. I mean, people, I think it boils down to people are just ready to get back to the movies.
Yeah, and even despite all that, I want to see the Bob's Burgers movie. Maybe Top Gun if I want to, but like I love Bob's Burgers. I think it's one of the funniest shows out there.
Well, when the rain picks up, that might be a good time to go to the movie theaters, but it's not picking up yet.
No, not tonight, and I don't think it will for tomorrow either. We'll keep dry and warm, 70 in the morning, highs are 85. We're dry for our Memorial Day, starting Tuesday with our alert day and the severe threat. That's when rain chances will certainly return.
All right, Nick, thank you. It's our time for now. Morning show's at 5 a.m., and thanks for making us part of your night.